I came in here with a question about y'all being like taking offense at the word cis. And so basically what I'm bringing to the table is the only thing that I really can't engage with is when someone says they're uncomfortable with someone being in the bathroom. And my thing right now is that I can't trust y'all when y'all say that because y'all say that cis is a slur.
It is.
Well, it is. It's actually worse than a slur. Like a slur. So a slur, okay. I'll tell you why. Like a slur is used to dehumanize and incite violence against a group of people, right? What cis does is it's worse than that because it achieves far more than that because it not only does it dehumanize and incite violence against women and girls and discrimination against us, but it actually erases us as a protected sex class in language and law, and it takes all of the sex-based rights and provisions and protections that we've carved out for ourselves in order to battle our sex-based violence and discrimination that we face just because we're female. It takes those things away from us. So slurs, like, they can dehumanize, they can incite violence towards people, but when you use language to, like, first of all, the dehumanization, let's take that. So cis means on the same side of, and what it says is that women are on the same side of a gender identity of woman, and men can have this gender identity too. So it makes it so that we're some abstract concept that men can also be, which is like, it just erases our category as like what we are. And so if you erase the category woman and anyone can be a woman, then there are no specific protections and rights for women anymore. So it like, rather than just being a slur, and it is used as a slur sometimes, they're just like cis, hit, white, bleh. Like sometimes they do use it like that, but what it achieves is far more harmful than slurs could ever achieve.
Yeah, and we don't need the prefix to further define what we are.
Okay, so I'm not interested in the redundancy conversation because
because you're talking about cis, right? So we're staying on topic. I don't think anything I said was redundant. I'm saying that cis is
I'm so sorry. I wasn't saying what you're saying is redundant. I'm saying that you're saying that the word cis is redundant.
Well, it is.
I don't think it's redundant. I just think it's wrong. Like you're saying, like what it does, it subscribes everyone to a sexist, misogynistic, dehumanizing ideology about women. It says that women are an identity that is on the same side. Like it's saying that if you're a woman, you are on the same side of a gender identity of woman, which reduces us to some kind of idea in a man's head or some kind of abstract sort of like feeling or whatever that men can have too, that's not even redundant. That's just fucking terrible. That's a terrible thing to do to women and girls. And we don't subscribe to this idiotic, misogynistic, sexist ideologies that says that woman is a gender identity to be on the same side of. Like we're just women. We don't get the choice in that matter. We don't go along the same side of. Like go try to sell that stupid shit to like Afghanistan women who are. It's like, oh, excuse me, so you're not allowed to sing or talk or go to school, your property, but are you on the same side of your woman gender identity? Like fuck right off.
What are we talking about?
But they said like for you guys, it's a classification. Like
it classifies us as an idea, as some kind of identity that is just a bunch of sexist stereotypes. It's just like it's like the gender. You ask anybody, what's a woman gender identity, and they just say a bunch of sexist bullshit. They're always just like, oh, it's dresses and it's fucking makeup and it's like long hair and it's like femininity.
But then you reduce
women down to their biological anatomy.
Yeah, that's like
well, that's what we are, though. We are biological human beings. Like it's dehumanizing when you make us an abstract concept. That's what's dehumanizing. When you bring us back down to our humanity, which is our bodies and our biology and our concrete, objective reality that we are, that you can protect all women and girls under. Right, like
this whole
like every single woman is an adult human female, right? And then that's a category we can all belong to. And then you can have women's rights, women's spaces, women's sports, women's prisons, women's shelters, women's history, women's health. But if you reduce us to this dumb sexist bullshit that men can be too, then there's no protections. There's no category that we belong to.
So
let me ask you a
have to be in
hypothetical.
a box.
Let me ask you a hypothetical. So let's say that you take a trans woman and you put them in a men's jail, right? I'm sure that y'all think that this person belongs there. Do you think that that person is more likely to be SA'd than a typical male?
So first of all, women are not men's human shields.
That is a question that I just asked. Please answer.
Puffin, I'm going to answer it right now. So it's a two-part answer. One, we're not men's human shields, so it's not up to us to protect vulnerable men. Two, it's the men's prison's responsibility to protect all the vulnerable males in there.
That is not answering my question.
Can I finish?
That is not answering my question.
Can I finish? So two, it's the jail's so the prison's responsibility to protect all the vulnerable males. That can be disabled males, that could be feminine males, like gay males, that could be autistic males, that can be men who want to mimic the female sex. So whether or not they're more at risk from other men because of their vulnerabilities is not women and girls' problem at all. Not even.
Yeah.
It's
So
not even
if we can't
universe
engage
of
with a
our problem.
hypothetical without like quantifying it or like making like, because you're working around the hypothetical, right? You're saying like, even if that's the case, we need to work around it. I'm asking you, like, it's like, based on your answer, I'm assuming that you believe it is true that someone that identified, like someone that has gone through partial or near complete transition is much more likely to be SA'd in a all men's jail. Yeah.
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as a transition.
Okay, so like we're twisting our back to avoid the question.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. I'm answering. So yeah, just because I always got to nip that in the bud when people use the ideological language, because it weaves this spell that we all.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like this is just like rhetorical.
If you let me like speak without interrupting me, I would get to your. I just have to nip those little like ideological cult speaks. I just have to nip those little ideological cult speaks in the bud before they like.
It is rhetorical obstructionism.
So basically, yeah, I agree. Probably the men who are mimicking the female sex are going to be more at risk because they're going to turn men on or whatever because they look female.
Okay. So we got there. Like it looks like a duck, and it is in some way treated like a duck, right?
Well, it's not even that it looks like a duck. Like even if a man was to, I don't know, put eyelashes on, he might turn men on more in the prison. Like I don't know, whatever. What's your point?
Why? Because that's like a gender expression, right?
Well, because it's femininity, and men are turned on by femininity.
But I thought that femininity like wasn't defined by like dresses and makeup. But was that where did that go?
No, I said that women are not defined by dresses and makeup. Women are not feminine all the time. We tend to be sometimes, but and because women want to attract men, they will often exaggerate femininity in order to attract a mate. But that doesn't mean that they're always like they're not always expressing femininity. Like usually when they've attracted a mate, they dial back the femininity, like because they don't have to constantly be performing a hyper feminine like behavior or where they've attracted their mate. And this is like often why men get mad when women do hyper like perform femininity when they go out and stuff like that, because they're just like, hey, you already attracted your mate, like what are you doing? So yeah, femininity is not necessarily, women are not defined by femininity. There's a lot of women who are masculine.
I have a question. So I just left my house. I have to go to the laundromat to pick up my comforter, but my hair is in like a bun. I'm not wearing any makeup, and I'm wearing like
you're a man.
Clothes. Do you think that I'm going to be like mistaken for a man when I go out?
No, it's not even that you'll be mistaken for a man. It's that you are a man. You are.
Yeah. I'm a man now.
Literally are a man now.
Do you think that I think that?
That's what you're saying.
Okay, so you give me a hypothetical. Or like I mistake someone for a woman up to and including like a conversation with this person until they tell me they identify as a man. And then you pose the second hypothetical that you know is different because you explain it as different, right?
I don't know. What's your point?
My point is that this is a clown show. Like my point is that was like a complete waste of time.
Well, I just want to know that
you know that I don't think that.
Like,
and you know that what I'm saying cannot be construed as that.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'd like to go back to
I'm good. This is a waste of time.
Wait, Puffin. So when you go out, right, do you ask every single person what they are? Do you ask like, oh, what's your gender, your pronouns? Do you do that to every single individual that you encounter?
God, I hope not. That would be so offensive.
Think I do?
Well, I'm just saying, because you don't want to be transphobic and you don't want to mistake them for something that they're not. So I'm just asking. Yeah.
So Puffin, because I came into the conversation later. Like, So
this conversation started. I believe it was Muppet gave me a hypothetical or I thought someone was a woman. They looked like a woman. They acted like a woman. They sounded like a woman.
How do women
and
act?
I did not know that. I did not know that they were a man until they told me they identified as a man.
No. How do women act though? I want to make sure I'm acting like a woman.
I am not going to be able to quantify that. I already told you.
So then maybe don't say sexist shit like that.
Wait, but you just
he said that here.
I'm good. This is the conversation's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's okay. You can leave. I'm still going to tell you what you said.
You can run away.
You said that the definition was if they look like a woman, then that's what makes them a woman. And sure, okay. So then when I asked you,
like a woman?
do you think that if a man is feminine presenting, and sure, maybe he looks a little bit womanly.
Oh, Muppet, you're breaking up so bad.
And he said yes.
You're like, Muppet, you're breaking up.
You're breaking up.
Wait, your bars are okay now. Maybe